Hi, glory be to God. It's Evangelist Janice Starr, and I am back with How to Be a Wife. This is segment 3, the submissive wife. So the first segment was girlfriend versus wife mentality. The second segment was the characteristics of a godly wife. And the third segment today is the submissive wife. So I'm just going to get right into it first. Okay, so what does that even mean? So what does it mean? What does submission mean? And so a lot of times people get confused because they think submission and obedience is the same thing. They are not the same thing. They're completely different, I'm telling you. And it's all different based off of one thing, and that's the heart. That's the intent behind it. So submission is when, and I have 3 definitions for you. I have I have the godly, the biblical definition. I have my definition, well, maybe 4, 3, my definition, and I have the world's definition. So let's just start with the world's definition. Okay, so this is from the Google, which is what, Oxford language? I don't know if the definition you get on Google. Okay, so Google says submission means the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. I'm gonna read that again because I read that kind of choppy. Submission to the world means the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. That's the world submission. That's what the world says submission is. The biblical submission is what God says, which is right in the Bible. And once again, I'm gonna provide the scriptures in the description. It says, wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. You know what that means? Is that like you submit to your husband as you would to God? And then here's my definition, which I love this definition. It's just something I kind of threw together. Okay, so in mine is like, it's just me explaining it. So to me, what submission is, and like I said, it's based off of the heart. So it's when you are like devoted to that person, and you want to listen to them. You want your life to be in subjection to them. So you, like as a wife, when you do stuff, you're not just going to just do stuff. You're going to say, well, I want to see what my husband feels about this, or what does he think about it, or let me even ask him if it's okay. I know he's going to be okay with it, but I just want to be sure, or maybe I'm not sure. You're submitting, you're yielding your life to him because you love him and you care for him, and what his thoughts matter about your life, opposed to obedience, which is, did I print that up too? Yes, obedience. So obedience, let me read the world's definition of obedience. It says compliance with an order, request, or law, or submission to another's authority. So they got both of them mixed. See, I'm telling you, the world don't even know. They mixing in submission and obedience together, and it's not. So I told you what submission is. Now, obedience is your heart don't even have to be in it. It's simple. Like obedience, when I think about obedience, I think about like dog training. When you train a dog to do certain stuff, they don't really care about you. You've trained them, and they know to fetch the bone, to when you shoot, play dead, or whatever. They're obeying. Their heart's not in it. That same dog could maybe get upset and try to bite you when you don't give them no food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's a difference between submission and obedience. And the one difference is the heart. Your heart has to be in it. Like, if your heart isn't in it, like if you don't love that person and you don't cherish them and all that good stuff, but they tell you to do something, you're just obeying them. You're not submitted to them. And the best wife to have is a submitted wife. That's the best wife to have, because the man is gonna be in the know of everything she's doing. She's gonna become better. He's gonna become better. The relationship, the marriage is gonna flow beautifully, and you're gonna be doing what God has called you to do. And so how can it go wrong if you're obeying God? And God says that wives are to submit to their husbands. And some women might be like, I don't want to do that. But if you love him, And if you're a godly woman, specifically talking about godly wife, you're going to want to submit. It's the best thing. So that's submission versus obedience. I hope you guys understand that. And like I said, this is my first time doing these segments. I hope none of them look ghetto or anything. Excuse me, the background. I'm at work, y'all. But I might redo all these maybe like next year or something. I'm gonna see. But that's submission versus obedience. Next is women should know what husband is for her. And this plays a big part into submission. Like if you're with somebody, if you're married to somebody and you're, like I said, your heart isn't with that man, like you don't really like him, you're not really feeling him, you feel like, I really feel like this is not my husband. Like men know like who their wives are. Like I think it's so amazing how God is. Like God puts it in the man, like pursue her, like that's yours, like that's your wife. And not all women, but some women know too who their husbands are. Like, I don't know why this is happening, but I know he's my husband. Like, you just know. Like, there's been, I would say 1, 2, maybe 3 men in my past who really thought I was their wife. And I'm like, And let me see once. Yeah. And, I dated them and I just knew that they weren't for me. Like, I'm like, And they were good men. Like, had nice career, money. One was a white dude. And he was so cool. We were really good friends. He used to always take me out. And his name was Christian. I'll just throw his name out there right quick. You don't care. I haven't talked to him forever, but his name was Christian. He was such a great man and just treated me very well. And he really thought his wife, but I just knew that he wasn't for me. I just knew he wasn't my husband. And it was another guy too that I dated, and I'm just like, he thought I was a wife too, and I'm like, nah. It's like women know too, like that's my husband, like he has my heart, like I don't know why he cutting up right now, or I don't know why he's not pursuing me, or I don't know why, but you just know, like without a doubt, like he's mine. So we have that too. And so I say that to say, you have to know without a doubt, like when you are married or before you get married, like this is the one for me. Because if not, it's going to be hard for you to do what? Submit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really encourage people not to get married. Don't marry that man because of his money, his career, social status. Marry him because your heart is with him. Your heart is for him. I don't like how this looks. It's kind of cricket. Okay. I'm just trying to make this all work. Marry him because that's the one for you. Because if not, I'm telling you, sister, you're not going to be able to submit to him. You're just not. So it's important that you pray about who you're going to marry. And like I said, like the guys that thought I was their wife and I dated them, and I knew that they weren't my husband. I'm like, yeah, no, he's not for me. But what if I just went ahead and decided to get married to that one, maybe Christian, because he was so good to me. He was such a great man. My mom really liked him and we got along fine and it was great. But what if I married him knowing that he wasn't the one for me? It would have been hard for me to submit. Me, I'm kind of stubborn too. I'd have been like, I probably gave him all kind of attitude all the time. I don't know. I would have been respectful, but it's just that submission thing would have been hard because I know in my heart that he's not the one for me. So you have to make sure that man is for you. Next is the big question. Bump, bump, bump. And this is the last one. I'm trying to keep these 10 minutes or less, okay? It's how. It's like, you're probably asking, well, Janet, Star, how do I submit? I'm not even married yet. I don't even know what submission is. How do I even submit? Let me tell you, this is how you submit. It's so easy. You don't even need to get a book and read this information. Look, this is how easy it is. Follow. It is so easy. Just do this. Beautiful woman of God. Let him lead and you follow. That's how you submit. Okay, you don't go up against what he's doing or what he's saying or anything. He leads and you follow. That's why you have to make sure that you're with the right one, because if not, you might be questioning him leading. Like, I don't know. But when it's the heart. When your heart is with somebody, you trust them, you love them, you care for them, you believe in them, you're going to follow them. All you have to do is let him lead and you follow. That's how you submit to your husband. And for single women, right now that are wise, but you're not officially married, the way you could learn submission right now is look at how you submit in your life right now. When you go to work, are you submitting to the boss? Are you talking about them and nagging about stuff you have to do? It's your job, but you complain about. I've worked with people like that who they always complain. I'll be thinking to myself, why don't you just get another job? You know what I'm saying? Can you submit in the place that you're in right now in your life? School. Maybe you're dating the person you're going to marry. Can you submit now? If not, don't think when you get married, stuff is going to change. You need to learn submission now in your own life. That's very important. What else I wanted to say about that was something else. Submission. I should have wrote more down. Okay, so submit, single women. Okay, older women. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love you, Lord. Okay. It is very, very important. I can speak on this because I've done this. To learn submission as a woman is very, 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 very important that you know how to submit to another woman. And I'm saying this because she's going to teach you. And what I'm saying is, even the Bible talks about older women help the younger women out. So what I'm saying, I believe in mentorship. If you want to get a mentor, or maybe you just know somebody that's an older woman, she's wise, I'm telling you guys, this works. This is why I am how I am. Part of it anyway, is that I have a friend who's 60 and she just pretty much took me under her wing and I wouldn't say mentor me, because she's beyond that. But I remember a couple of times where I would just go over her place and just glean from her. I would literally sit at her feet, and I'm not being dramatic. Literally, she's sitting on the couch, I'm down at her feet, I'm looking up, and I'm like, okay, what did I do that wrong? Okay, I did that right. Okay, good. What? Help me understand this. I'm just learning from her. And that's how we have to be as women. We have to learn from older women. They're going to teach us and help us. That's submission. And there's been times where she would tell me, nah, you wrong for that. Or, no, there's nothing wrong. You did that right. Or whatever. You have to be able to submit now to, somebody who's going to guide you in the right direction. And it's best that it's, an older woman who really wants the best for you. God has truly blessed me, who he's put this beautiful, great woman of God into my life who I can really look up to and listen. Only one, because God knows I'm kind of shut down. I don't really like to open up to a lot of people. And I've known her for a long, long time. And we connected because a prophecy was revealed to both of us that she was going to be with me. So her name's Antoinette, the same one I called when I was in jail, the only one that would answer my phone call when I was in jail. And she ministered to me when I was in jail. And so pray about that. Pray that God will send somebody specifically for you that will help you learn about life. You don't know everything. And sometimes when you have a bold personality and you feel like you know everything, you really don't. That's why you have to learn submission in your own life, so you can be submissive to your husband. You can be that submissive wife. And I don't care what nobody say. Every man wants a submissive wife. Come on now. They're like, yeah, she, okay. Okay, yeah, she listened to me. And yeah, it probably stroked their ego. But it's good to be a submissive wife. It makes the relationship go well. It helps you be happy and him be happy and everything's smooth and at peace. And we want peace. So that's what it is. That's the submissive wife. I hope you learned something. This video is already 14 minutes. It's too long already. I need to figure out how to chop these up. Just hit on some points and chop these up really fast. But before I go, I wanted to just address something that's been coming up quite some time. And it is a question I'm getting. I got it twice. I got this question twice from men. Men are just curious about this. They're like, the question is, how are you a wife? They don't get it. They're like, I mean, no disrespect, but how are you a wife? And so I want to explain that. So when I say I'm a wife, I'm talking about this phone. I'm talking about I'm already a wife. Even though I'm not officially a wife, like married, what I'm talking about is sometimes people are just anointed to do certain things without actually being in that role. And I'm one of those people when it comes to like wife stuff. Even though I'm not officially a wife, no, I'm single, I'm not married, but I'm a wife. For one, I believe that women were created to be wives. Okay, so I was born that way. And two, the way I grew up, the beliefs, my background, my history, growing up in the church I grew up in was different. It wasn't like, I don't want to say make it seem like the churches are bad nowadays, but I just grew up a certain way, and I would have to spend more time talking about that. My mom was a wife, and all those things put together, it just made me who I am. I'm a wife. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about I'm officially a wife. I'm talking about I'm already a wife without being in the role. Sometimes people have to be in the role to learn the role. And then sometimes people like me, they know the role and could just go right into it and be like, oh, I got this. I'm not do this, no problem. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm like that in a lot of things. I could just get into something and be like, I got this. I already know how to do it. That's how I'm made. That's how God made me. And then there's just some things too where I get into stuff and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like this job, I'm doing math. I'm not good at math. I don't even know math. And so I'm in this position, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But if you put me into like English or something like that, I can just get into that role and be like, oh, I got this. Start writing, creating assignments. It just starts popping up in my head, you know, or anything, just a lot of stuff. I could just get into the role and be like, I got this. So what I say when that I'm a wife or other women is that you don't actually have to be a wife, the ring, wedding, and all that stuff to be a wife. So I hope that makes sense, because I know some of the guys, just men are asking me this. They're like, I'm confused. And like I said, it's understandable. They probably think, okay, she says she's a wife, but she's single. I don't get it. So that's what I mean when I say I'm a wife. It's like, I don't need to be in the role to be a wife. I'm already a wife. So when I get in that role, it's not going to be hard for me. Like, I don't have to read no books. I don't have to go join no wife club. Like, I already know what to do. Like, I already know. Like, I have my beliefs and the way I was raised and the things I've been taught, the things that I've seen, and all that together, I know what I'm doing. So that's why I say that I'm a wife, and women were created to be wives. Some need to learn, and that's why I'm here to teach. And I hope you guys learned something. All right, well, that's it for now. Until next time, Sunday. I hope I can publish another one Sunday. I don't know what's going to be. Hey, if you want to learn some things about being a wife and you don't know, like, you just have questions, send them to me and I can do a video about it. So that's 3 segments. I'm only doing 10 segments, so that's 3. Next week is going to be segment 4, and I'm going to tell you guys what that is, I guess, next week. Follow my YouTube page at Evangelist Janet Starr, and you all be blessed. Keep the questions coming in. I love them. God bless. Bye.